Good afternoon. This is Akashvani and I'm Naresh Mago with the Midday News. The headlines. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh approves maternity, childcare and child adoption leaves for women soldiers, sailors and air warriors in armed forces at par with their officer counterparts. Assembly elections campaigning to end in Mizoram and parts of Chhattisgarh this evening. Prime Minister and Senior BJP leader Narendra Modi addresses election rally at Seoni in Madhya Pradesh, says party's priority is to make life easier for the poor and middle class. Primary schools in Delhi to stay closed till 10th November in view of the rising air pollution. And an ICC Men's Cricket World Cup match between India and South Africa is underway at Eden Gardens in Kolkata. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh has approved a proposal for extension of the rules for maternity, childcare and child adoption leave for women soldiers, sailors and air warriors in the armed forces at par with their officer counterparts. With the issuing of the rules, the grant of such leave to all women in the military will be equally applicable whether one is an officer or on any other rank. The decision is in line with the Raksha Mantri's vision of inclusive participation of all women in the armed forces, irrespective of their rank. The Defence Ministry said the extension of leave rules will go a long way in dealing with women-specific family and social issues relevant to the armed forces. This measure is going to improve the work conditions of women in the military and aid them to balance the spheres of professional and family life in a better manner. Our correspondent reports that the three services have spearheaded a paradigm shift with inclusion of women as soldiers, sailors and air warriors. A significant milestone was achieved in 2019 through recruitment of women in the Indian Army as soldiers in the Corps of Military Police. Campaigning for the Mizoram Assembly election and the first phase of Chhattisgarh Assembly poll will come to an end this evening. Mizoram will go for a single-phase Assembly poll on November the 7th to elect 40 members of the Mizoram Legislative Assembly. In Chhattisgarh, electioneering will conclude in 20 assembly seats. Leaders and workers of different parties are wooing the electorate on the last day of campaigning for the first phase of the assembly election. We have a report from our correspondent.
BJP President JP Nadda is addressing election meetings in Pendra and Masturi of Chhattisgarh today. Meanwhile, Congress will release the election manifesto for the state assembly elections today afternoon. Out of 20 constituencies which are going for the poll in the first phase, in the 10 most affected assembly segments, the campaigning will end at 3 p.m. today, while in the other 10, the candidates can campaign till 5 p.m. Vikalp Shukla, Akashvani News, Raipur.
The Election Commission has called upon all political parties to instruct their leaders and campaigners to ensure that they observe the silence period on all forms of media. During the silence period, star campaigners and other political leaders should refrain from addressing the media by way of press conferences and giving interviews on election matters. The campaigning restrictions during the 48-hour silence period shall also apply to the social media space. The Representation of the People's Act 1951 prohibits all forms of campaigning and display of any election matter by means of cinematograph, television or similar apparatus in a polling area for 48 hours prior to the end of poll. A violation entails imprisonment up to 2 years or fine or both. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, during his brief visit to Chhattisgarh today, reached the famous pilgrimage centre of Dongargarh for darshan of Ma Bambleshwari Devi. Besides, he also met Jain Saint Vidyasagar Ji Maharaj at the Jain pilgrimage site Chandragiri and received his blessings. Prime Minister and Senior BJP leader Narendra Modi today said that the BJP's priority is to make life easier for the poor and middle class, and therefore all these sections are taken care of in the party schemes. Addressing an election rally in Seoni, Madhya Pradesh, Mr. Modi, while mentioning various schemes for the welfare of tribals, said that the tribal society has been revered for centuries, but for the first time, Atal Bihari Vajpayee created the tribal ministry in the government of India.
आदिवासी समाज इतना पुराना है, लेकिन ये कांग्रेस वालों को 5-5 दशक तक दिल्ली में राज करने के बाद आदिवासी शब्द नहीं सुना था उन्होंने। ये भाजपा सरकार थी, हमने आदिवासियों के लिए अलग मंत्रालय बनाया। भारत सरकार में पहली बार जनजातीय लोगों के विकास और प्रगति के लिए मंत्रालय बना।
The Prime Minister said the BJP government is building Rani Durgavati Memorial in Jabalpur and also taking care of Baiga, Bharia and Saharia tribes. He said that soon a scheme with a budget of 15,000 crore rupees is being launched for the welfare of this class. The Prime Minister said that for the convenience of the middle and poor classes, the government has made all facilities available in mobile phones. He said that the price of mobile phones is also low during the tenure of the BJP government. During the time of the Congress, only 2 factories were making mobile phones. Now 200 are making them. He said that we have also made mobile data cheaper so that you can avail the facilities. He said that 5 crore families have benefited from the Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana in the state.
कोरोना काल से लेकर के अब तक 80 करोड़ लोगों को हमने गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना के तहत मुफ्त राशन देने की योजना चलाई। हमारे मध्य प्रदेश में करीब 5 करोड़ हमारे परिवारजन, हमारे 5 करोड़ साथी, उनको घर में ये मुफ्त राशन पहुंचा, उनका चूल्हा कभी बूझा नहीं।
Meanwhile, Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi is participating in rallies in Kukshi and Indore. Party President Mallikarjun Kharge, senior leaders Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi are to hold 22 rallies in the state. The other parties, including SP, BSP and Aam Aadmi Party, are also busy campaigning in their strongholds. Senior BJP leader and Union Home Minister Amit Shah is visiting Bihar today. He is addressing a public meeting at Patahi Airport Ground in Muzaffarpur this afternoon. The BJP has said the program has been organized to mobilize the voters of 8 parliamentary constituencies of North Bihar, including Muzaffarpur and Vaishali. The visit of Mr. Shah has great significance in the changing political scenario of the state after the recent release of Bihar caste survey by the Nitish Kumar-led government. CPIM Telangana State Secretary T. Veerabhadram today released the first list of 14 names for contesting the assembly elections. The party announced that it will contest from 17 assembly constituencies in the state. He will contest from Paler in Khammam district, while former MLA J. Ranga Reddy will contest from Miryalaguda. Speaking to the media, Mr. Veerabhadram appealed to the people to ensure representation to left parties, including the CPIM, to raise the voice on public issues in the assembly. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. The primary schools in Delhi will stay closed till 10th November in view of the rising air pollution. In a social media post, Delhi Education Minister Atishi informed that schools have the option of shifting to online classes for grades 6 to 12. The national capital continues to reel under severe air pollution with a thick layer of smog engulfing the city. According to Central Pollution Control Board, the Air Quality Index AQI was recorded at 463 at 10 this morning. An AQI between 201 and 300 is considered poor, 301 and 400 very poor, and 401 and 500 severe. In Jammu and Kashmir, Director General of CRPF Sujoy Lal Towson and the Director General of Police of the Union Territory R.R. Swine jointly chaired a high-level meeting of officers to review the overall security scenario of the Kashmir Valley at Police Control Room in Srinagar last evening. Addressing the meeting, Mr. Swain addressed the augmenting and enhancing of capabilities to achieve the desired results. He directed for putting in use modern techno tools to monitor the security situation and directed for launching the operations in higher reaches and flushing the hiding terrorists. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha attended the Shikara Fest organized by Kashmir Education, Culture and Science Society in New Delhi yesterday. He commended the endeavor of the society to celebrate Kashmir's rich and unique cultural and artistic heritage, its tradition, cuisine, and providing a platform to showcase the variety of handmade creative products. He highlighted the important role of culture in building a stronger structure of the society and to strengthen the national fabric. Mr. Sinha said, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, we are making dedicated efforts to promote, preserve, and enrich our cultural heritage. The Pravasi Parichay event in Riyadh saw an impressive display of India's rich cultural diversity during the State Days, a 3-day extravaganza. Representatives from 12 Indian states came together to highlight their unique cultural heritages. The event also featured performances by the Gujarat group featuring renditions of Garba Mahdi composition by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The energetic Garba, Dandiya and Timli dances brought to life the festive spirit of Navratri and Diwali, leaving the audience mesmerized. The participant states including Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Delhi, Rajasthan, Odisha, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala. Each state showcased their distinctive culture, cuisine and traditions, creating a vibrant tapestry of India's cultural mosaic. Malaysian Minister of Foreign Affairs Zamri Abdul Qadir will arrive in New Delhi today on a 4-day official visit. During his stay, Dr. Qadir, along with External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, will co-chair the 6th India-Malaysia Joint Commission meeting on Tuesday. In a statement, the Ministry of External Affairs said the Joint Commission meeting will review the progress of enhanced strategic partnership with Malaysia in the areas of political, defense, security, economic, trade and investment, health, science and technology, culture, tourism and people-to-people ties. Dr. Qadir is also scheduled to call on Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. In Bangladesh, a 48-hour countrywide blockade of road, rail and waterways enforced by Bangladesh Nationalist Party and like-minded opposition parties across Bangladesh began this morning. The banned Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami is also enforcing a 48-hour blockade simultaneously, demanding the current government's resignation and installation of a non-party neutral administration to oversee the 12th parliamentary election. Vehicles of the newspapers, media, ambulances and vehicles transporting oxygen cylinders and medicines are out of the purview of the 3-day blockade. Earlier, the opposition parties observed a day-long hartal on October 29 and a 3-day blockade from October 31 to November 2, demanding their one-point demand and protesting the attacks on its October 28 rally by the police. Meanwhile, the Election Commission of Bangladesh yesterday invited 44 registered political parties in 2 groups to inform them about the election preparations. Russia has said that it has successfully test-launched an intercontinental ballistic missile capable of carrying nuclear warheads from one of its submarines. The launch of the Bulava missile, the first in just over a year, comes as Russia ramps up nuclear rhetoric since revoking its ratification of a key nuclear test ban treaty. In ICC Men's Cricket World Cup, the match between India and South Africa is underway at Eden Gardens in Kolkata. India were 22 for no loss in 2 overs when reports last came in. Earlier, India won the toss and elected to bat first. Both the teams have played 7 matches till now, and India remain the only team unbeaten so far in the tournament. On the other hand, South Africa have lost only 1 match. India are currently at the number 1 position with 14 points, followed by South Africa in the second place with 12 points. And now, before we end the bulletin, here are the headlines once again. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh approves maternity, childcare and child adoption leaves for women soldiers, sailors and air warriors in armed forces at par with their officer counterparts. Assembly elections campaigning to end in Mizoram and parts of Chhattisgarh this evening. Prime Minister and Senior BJP leader Narendra Modi addresses election rally at Seoni in Madhya Pradesh, says party's priority is to make life easier for the poor and middle class. primary schools in Delhi to stay closed till 10th November in view of the rising air pollution. And in ICC Men's Cricket World Cup, the match between India and South Africa is underway at Eden Gardens in Kolkata. And with that, we end the midday news.